So, Backwater. This episode was pretty interesting. It has the backstory of Master Fu and another woman, which her name is Marianne and is kind of Master Fu lover. So, at the beginning of the episode, it's a black and white and flashes of red, which is kind of going back to during like the 1930s, because at that time they had like black and white movies and they're using it here now. And it looks like they're on the run, both of them. They look pretty young. If this was like in the 1930s exactly as I said, then at that time Master Fu was like during his 80s, because in present day he's 186 years old, and in the 1930s he will be in his 80s, and he looks pretty young for someone who's in his 80s and he can run well. Looks like behind here he has the miracle box and the bag, and they're on the run because someone is trying to get the miracle box. That means after Master Fu left the Guardian Temple in China, he came to Paris and maybe met with her somehow during that time, and he has to protect the miracle box because it's like his duty. They were planning on leaving together to England, but Marianne suggested that they should use the Ladybug and Cat Noir Miraculouses, but Master Fu was like, no, they should go together. But then she decided they should split because it's the only way for them to get away from people trying to find the miracle box. Turns out he is still in Paris, and she is also still in Paris, but they're not together after all these years. And then it's back to present day, where Marinette is talking with a group of friends who is on the couch. Is like, okay, Marinette. You can see Alia here. She is talking with her friends about Adrian attending a royal wedding in England with his father, Kagami, and Kagami's mother. And she doesn't want Adrian to go with Kagami because she's scared that Kagami will take him away from her. So she decides to find a plan to not to let them stay together. Rose comes up with a plan for Marinette to sneak in to the royal wedding, but Alex was like, no, and then he will find out and then he won't like you anymore and you will end up in jail. And then Waze came by to see Marinette, and her friends had to go. And Marinette comes up with an idea to write a letter, a poem, again, another poem to Adrian about her love for him. And then while on the train, the subway, train, she says it out loud and other people can hear and start teasing her and laughing at her. What? And she's just embarrassed. And Master Fu is sick, and his last name is Chan. Master Fu tells Marinette to give Marianne a letter, and we get to know that he's like in love with her, and also Marinette's like, oh, you have a lover, but like he's really old. I can understand why he hasn't confessed to her, because he has this mission which is to guard the miracle box, and he's the guardian, he has to take care of it, kind of his duty. He was trained to be the guardian. And now Marinette has 3 different pieces of paper in her bag, which is a letter to Adrian, a letter to Marianne, and the list of medication she has to buy for Master Fu. And we see Kagami's mother. Looks like she can't see. She's blind. And Marinette gives not exactly the letter, because she didn't look before taking out from her bag. She just took one and gave it to him. She should have just looked which one was the right one. She gave him the wrong one, which is the medication for Master Fu. We didn't hear Kagami talk this episode. We see Mr. Pigeon again, and sitting next to Marianne, and she's talking about waiting for Master Fu and love and stuff. Ladybug comes and gives one of the paper, which is actually the letter she wrote for Adrian to her by mistake. Also, we find out that her yo-yo can also be used as a pocket, like a bag. She puts stuff in it when she's transformed into Ladybug and take it out and give it to her. She didn't look at it, she just gives one. And Marianne reads it, and she was sad by it because it broke her heart, and that's why she became akumatized. And the last piece of paper was Master Fu's letter to Marianne, and she gave it to the pharmacist. And she's like, "Oh no, I messed up. Who has the paper?" And Hawkmoth get a signal from his Miraculous that someone is sad. First time he transformed outside his house, and he transformed in the bathroom, no, in the toilet on the train. He is loud, and can't anyone hear him talking in the toilet, being Hawkmoth? And Marianne is transformed into Backwater, which her power is she can touch things and it will reverse time. She wants to reverse time back so she can catch up on lost time she didn't spend with Master Fu. And her costume and her look is like a doll, where on her head looks like a doll where you can like spin it around and then you let it go and it will move forward. That's what it reminds me of. It is like a clock on her chest. Adrian on the train, he gets the news that someone's akumatized, and he tells Kagami that he's gonna check up on his father, and he knocked on the door where Hawkmoth was there, and then he goes to the other door, the other toilet, and transform into Cat Noir. So basically they are just a few centimeters away from each other. Not so far from each other. You just open a door and yeah, you find Hawkmoth there. Ladybug tells Cat Noir about the situation, about Master Fu and the Miracle Box. Ladybug tells the situation to Cat Noir that Backwater is someone Master Fu knows, and they have to stop her or she's gonna get to Master Fu, and that's what Hawkmoth wants. And Hawkmoth is surprised and really happy to akumatize her because he gets new info that his name, the Guardian of the Miraculous, is Master Fu. And that's bad. I got a little confused when Ladybug got used her lucky charm and she got a pipe. She put the pipe down and let Cat Noir say Cataclysm backwards, and then she pushed Cat Noir to Backwater so he would reverse back, do the actions backwards. And then Cat Noir has to transform back and hurry back to the train before the train leaves without him, Adrian. And then Hawkmoth laughed in the bathroom, and we can clearly hear it from the outside because someone wants to go to the toilet. And they both de-transform back, and Gabriel and Adrian just next to each other. These transform back in different toilets and come outside to their civilian form. Here, Master Fu wants to confess to her directly that he loves her and he wants to spend time with her, but Marianne suggested that she has to go into hiding again because Hawkmoth knows that Marianne knows about her knowing Master Fu, which is the Guardian of the Miraculous, and he will come after her, so they can't be together, which is pretty sad for Master Fu. They too deserve much more than this. Both of them deserve much more than this. They've been separated once and now they're separated again. So they have to wait until Hawkmoth is defeated, which we don't know when, and I really want them to end up together. And Tiki asks Marinette why didn't he just confess, and Marinette, well, it's not the time yet. You have to wait for the right time. Yeah, that's exactly right. You want to confess, you want to wait for the right time. And back to school, her friends, Marina's friends, are asking how it went, and she said, yeah, that was good, but then Adrian comes up to her and gives her the medication. She the medication for Master Fu, but he doesn't know that. He thought she wants medication from England, and he bought them for her, and everyone's like, oh, that means Adrian has been thinking about you this whole weekend, but not exactly. And they were kind of surprised. What? It's constipation capsules for Master Fu. And they were all confused, except for Rose, like, oh, this is so sweet. He thinks about you. So yeah, we learned a lot of things this episode. Overall, this episode, I had fun watching it. One of the things I wanted to see in season 3 is Master Fu backstory, and we get a little flashback of him with Marianne. So that was sweet. He also has someone he loves. And then here's the end card of Marianne and Master Fu holding hands, and there's Kador here and Ladybug here. So yeah, that was fun. I hope there are more fun episodes like this in the future. It was really fun watching this. I think it was pretty good. It's a bit plot development. And yeah, can't wait for the next episode, which is coming out also this week. It's Stormy Weather 2. And all the other episodes from next week are delayed. So I don't know when they're gonna air them and confirm the new dates. I knew this would happen, and yeah, it happened. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, you could give it a like. If you want to watch more videos like this from me, you could subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.